So everybody has their favorite movies, but there are certain movies that may not be the top of our favorite list, but we just have to watch it whenever it's on. So that's if you go to a friend's house and it's on TV, reruns if you're watching reruns, or it could be that you have an old DVD that you break it out every now and then.
I think too, vacations are a good time when you realize, I like this movie. I'm willing to sit through the commercials because it's vacation. I just want to relax.
Right.
What are you doing on vacation? You just relax.
You get time.
Yeah, so that's a time, in a hotel, things like that. You don't have DVR. You can't watch what you want. So, we're going to tackle the movies that you always stop to watch, no matter when they're on television.
And this could be stuff that you've seen 1 billion times, or maybe just one time, but you always got to watch it. So my number 3 is going to be Happy Gilmore.
Good choice.
Happy Gilmore is the best Adam Sandler movie there was. Get at me. But I think Happy Gilmore is one of those that has the rewatchability over and over and over again because it doesn't lack, I would say, enthusiasm.
No,
so there's no parts of that movie that lack enthusiasm, which again keeps your attention, which is good to see on a movie you can watch over and over and over again.
First of all, I love your choice. I love that movie. It's definitely like one of my top comedies of all time. Maybe top 3 sports movies of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. And our generation's a little different. We have a viewership that I know leans towards the Caddyshack.
Probably.
Of our times. And that's just, hey, we're a good show. Dads rank things. We have our generation, but we also have an older generation that watches our show that they would lean towards the Caddyshack. So what they have to understand is Happy Gilmore is the Caddyshack of our time.
True.
Like, without question. Like, you quote it when you play golf. You quote it in life. Same for the people that are a little bit older than us. They quote Caddyshack in life. They quote it when they golf. Do I think there's going to be another movie that parodies golf 10 years from now and is awesome? I think so.
You think?
Yeah. You got
it's two all-time classics.
Wildly successful golf movies within that time. So I think it's going to happen again. So good on you. I think that's a good choice. For me, if you're a follower of Dad's Rank Things, you love this show, you're not going to be surprised with my number 3, and my number 3 is Home Alone.
Yeah.
And Jonesy,
why is that not your number 1? Home Alone's been mentioned more times than any other movie on this podcast.
Because it's never on in year-round.
That's true. Yeah, it's only the holiday time period.
Even if you consider Home Alone not a holiday classic, which I consider a classic, period. It's unfortunately got the holiday classic tab. Am I right? It can't be my number 1 because, well, quite honestly, it's not on that much.
Okay.
So
that's the only reason why it's not there.
Yeah. So it's my number 3. My number 2. This may surprise a lot of people. I'm going to go down the road that Jones kind of went down, and that's Ace Ventura.
Really?
Oh my. I love it.
I disagree with that.
I love it so much.
Oh.
I love the stupidity of it. I don't see a downtime in the movie that I would say I can't watch it during this scene, which, I thought of, so my favorite sports movie of all time, this will come up again, so I'm just going to give it away now. Major League's, to me, the best sports movie of all time.
Okay.
But there are slow times in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a drama. It's not a comedy.
Right, so I pictured in my head me flipping through the stations, right? And I'm like, downtime in Major League. I love this movie. What else is on? Right. Ace Ventura, it's so stupid. Every moment I get is going to have some sort of stupid one-liner. I have to hear what Ace says in it. So, you're not an Ace Ventura fan?
No.
It's one of the best movies of all time. No. I really think that
it's one that gets annoying.
If you want to use the kids' terms like Jones used, at me. I don't care. It's so amazing. It's hilarious. Actually, I got good news. You're going to love this. Morgan Creek, I think, is a production company that owns the rights to Ace Ventura. They have not sold any bit of the rights, which means we could be in for a reboot, people.
Please no.
That was announced in it was like 4 years ago. They announced that they might be in the if Jim Carrey is. Yeah, when Nature Calls was horrible. There might be a third one. I don't know.
I think there might be 2, or a direct-to-DVD, or something like that.
But they have the ability to do a reboot. It made Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's one of the most famous.
You know what happened to Dumb and Dumber, right? That's what's going to happen to Ace Ventura if they redo that.
I know. I'm aware of that. But I'm excited. A. B. That movie, like Dumb and Dumber, wouldn't exist if Jim Carrey didn't have the liberty to do what he wanted in that movie. I really believe that.
He was a good comic for 2 years.
Okay. I think and I might be wrong. You can check me on this, people, but I think you'll find it. Rick Moranis was the other decision for that, other option for that.
Look a lot different.
It jumped. It kickstarted Carrey's career.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
All right. So we disagree on that one, but number 2 for me is Independence Day. So the patriot that I am, whenever that is on, I just want to get to the speech personally. Like there's in between parts where
Bill Paxton's speech.
Yeah, Bill Paxton's speech. Whenever he gives, this is our Independence Day.
Love it.
So Will Smith, I love almost every movie that he's in, at least pre 2005. But that whole movie, the feel, the action. I mean, it's one of my favorite action movies of all time, and comedy. I mean, it has jokes in it all the time.
Oh yeah. Will carries the comic relief almost himself.
And Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is amazing. I don't feel like it's on enough.
It's not on enough. It's on around. July 4th, probably 10 years ago. It was on more than what it is now. Like so, it has aged. But
no, you're right. I feel like our kids won't really know.
Yeah.
We went through a time where it was
all the time.
I'm not gonna say it was like as much as Shawshank.
But on TNT and TBS,
you're right. It was on, and it's just not anymore.
Yeah,
and
it's a shame.
You can't find it as much. But I love that movie. Mm-hmm. I hate that it ramped off into some other sequels that didn't do well.
But around July 4th, similar to what Home Alone, sometimes they'll do a whole 24 hours of Independence Day rerun all the time.
That's on all the time.
It's glorious.
You would never leave the TV because you can't stop watching it. That's what you promised. All right, number one for me. Number one for me is Gladiator.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I went serious. I'm sorry. I went deep.
That's a long movie too. That's a good 2.5 hours.
No, it's not. Braveheart's like 3 hours. Gladiator, we'll slip it in under 2, maybe 2. With commercials, yeah, it's like 3 to 4.
6.
Now that I think about it. But what I found out. Okay, first of all, Braveheart's one of my favorite movies of all time. That's probably too long for me to sit and watch on television.
Yeah, definitely.
So Gladiator would be my close second, and I realized in some research, Russell Crowe, he's pretty badass. He got some injuries during this.
Well, I'm sure he did his own stunts, right?
I got a list of them. You ready? He lost all feeling in his right forefinger for 2 years. I found that very weird. That was after a sword fight. He got hit on the forefinger.
And
they didn't think it did anything. Really, but then he couldn't feel anything for 2 years. He hurt his Achilles tendon. He broke a bone in his foot. He cracked his hip bone. He popped his bicep tendon out of their socket. Those are like the 5 different injuries that he did making that movie. Because you know what? That movie's badass, and you all should respect that movie. It's a good flick. There's a lot of other things with that movie too, but Gladiator's just very good. I heard it may be redone or sequeled. God, please stop.
You gotta leave them alone.
Stop.
Those were the first movies that I bought on DVD.
Good for you. I knew I liked him for a reason.
That's a classic. My number one, again, opposite of what you do, Super Troopers. So Super Troopers, I've seen this movie well over 100 times in my lifetime. But if it's on, say, Comedy Central, or they ever put it on Amazon Prime or Netflix, it's going to be on repeat in my house. Now, Super Troopers 2, again, sequel killed it, what it was. But the original Super Troopers is a modern comedy classic. I would go outside of a cult classic because I think it's reached mainstream.
Yeah, I would say it's just outside of a cult classic. It's very good. These schnozberries do taste like schnozberries.
The number of movie quotes that come from that movie it's a lot. Insane.
It's a lot. They did a great job.
Now, it probably takes from our generation to quote that movie because kids nowadays have no idea what Super Troopers is, or any of the actors probably from there. Now, Beer Fest did bring Broken Lizard kind of back into the conversation, but still, even Beer Fest is 10 years old.
Yeah, so I'll test your theory. Okay. Everyone knows I coach soccer. Mm-hmm. And so we like to put in some movies and just see how they sit. for the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we put in Kingpin. I think Kingpin's fantastic.
Yeah, for a younger generation.
We got booed and we had to take it out, right? So you never know. Look, I thought Super Troopers 2 was going to be the worst movie ever. And then as it ended, I was like, man, I made it through that movie. I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
Just watch it. I would say you can watch it.
Yeah. It's a decent comedy sequel, not like Ace Ventura
Now,
2.
I don't know where he is on this because, he has the weird cable, but Tacoma FD has two of the main stars. He doesn't even know this, do you? You don't know this. Two of the main stars from Super Troopers, and they started their own sitcom. Tacoma FD, I finished the first season. I'm going to be honest. When I watched the first 2 episodes, I'm like, I'm not going to watch this show because it's so stupid. But then I thought, you know what? Super Troopers was so stupid you kept watching it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. I like it.
It's enjoyable.
To those of our audience that liked Super Troopers, watch Tacoma FD. Don't give up after 2 episodes. It's funny. They know they're being stupid. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the whole point, right?
Yeah.
They're being stupid. It's a good show. I enjoyed it. And so I'm recommending it.
TV recommendation.
You don't get that often. Dads rank things.